Welcome into another episode of Spaceman 2.0 Phoenix Truth Rising Show. Here to help you grow in the knowledge and wisdom of truth, and the truth will set you free. The best history lesson and spiritual insights on the planet. Exposure of the Illuminati's plan of world conquest and control is the death knell to the New World Order. So let's get right back into the Phoenix Operator Owner Manual and some of the fundamental rules and laws of the universe. One of the main ones being number 18, you must not commit the act of slavery upon any human being of God. And then we're going to get into, with time permitting, understanding the nature of your personal responsibility, which is basically looking for signs of the Antichrist within and getting rid of it. And how to recognize the Antichrist, that which is against God within, in the next part after that one. So, you must not commit the act of slavery upon any human being of God. This means you must not demand by force and fear to control, confine, use, or manipulate another human being to do any service or work for you against their will without giving them fair compensation. This also means that you cannot buy or sell another human being as if he, she were a product you own. This includes your children. Babies and children are not products to be created, such as by in vitro fertilization or given to be birthed by a surrogate mother. If a couple are unable to physically procreate, then they have a choice. They can adopt a homeless or unwanted child, or they can choose not to be parents at all. Adoption of another's unwanted or parentless child is one of the most loving and unselfish acts any competent and caring couple could do in service to God. Not all couples are or were meant to procreate. It is not punishment from God. It is the responsibility of any barren, loving couple to recognize that procreation is not their function at this time. But if they desire children, then they must understand what an honor it is to accept the nurturing care of one of God's children who has no one else to love him or her. One of the most painful and degrading terms you humans have labeled those children who are born out of wedlock is bastard, which means illegitimate according to human law. You must now know that in God's kingdom there are no bastards. Those born out of wedlock children are as precious to God as any other children born with married parents. Then there have been many of you humans who have throughout history claimed superiority or inferiority because of color or race. That's part of looking for the Antichrist within, which is the inferior and superior feelings you have within you. Therefore, there have been many of you humans who have throughout history claimed superiority or inferiority because of color or race. The feeling a human has of so-called genetic superiority exists within the mind of the human, who wishes to control and dominate and enslave other humans of different race or color than he is. For example, many of the Germans under the one called Hitler believed that the pure Caucasian was for superior genetically, mentally, and physically to all other races. They believed in keeping that race pure by not interbreeding with other so-called inferior races. Also, many of the so-called Jews are taught and believe that their race is chosen of God over all others, and so they believe that they are superior. In America, as in Europe, black or dark humans were believed inferior and were made slaves to the whites, which are mostly Marrano Jews, by the way. Don't you see? The evil powers that be are creating and encouraging prejudice of others who are different than they are in culture and skin, so that they can control the perceived lesser ones. Throughout the world, through your media, the government policies, the seed of racial unrest, dissension, and prejudice is specifically planted, nurtured, and allowed to bear the bitter fruit of hatred and resentment, and is thus continued perpetuated, so that you people will not become united. By keeping you separated, by creating for you suppression of various groups, they keep you at war with one another, while they execute their plans for total domination over all of you. If you want to see the caste system alive and well, just go to India and you will see how he who's considered a Brahmin can make fun of the guy working for him, who's basically won't be able to ever raise up to another level of wealth or status in society. I've seen it in front of my own eyes and make fun of them right in front of their faces. So, it is against the laws of God for a man and a woman of different races or colors. So, is it against the laws of God for a man and women of different races or colors to marry and bear children? Of course not. The genetic corruption of a human species occurs specifically because of the dis-ease within the spiritually weak and corrupted beings who procreate, not because of their color. That's very interesting. Read that again. The genetic corruption of your human species occurs specifically because of the dis-ease within the spiritually weak and corrupted beings who procreate, not because of their color. Each soul is a fragment of God. Whatever race or color of the body that the soul chooses to incarnate in makes no difference whatsoever to God. Only human falsely chooses to create and delineate features or traits of racial superiority, inferiority. In service to the divine light of wisdom and truth of our Creator, ATON, and the creation, we are Sananda, Lord Michael, Germain, and Druthia. So remember, recognizing inferiority or superiority thoughts within oneself is a great way to understand that that's the altered ego exercising the Antichrist within you. So back to understanding the nature of your personal responsibility. Let's get into that. And we'll finish off in a couple minutes and we'll get back into it in the next episode. Now we will discuss the personal responsibility of each of you humans has toward harmonizing with and maintaining the laws of balance given forth above. Since you have been gifted with free will and reasoning intelligence by your Creator, then so it is true that balance is a choice made by each human, not the same as an instinct of maintenance and balance given by creation to your animal and bird kingdoms. Did God therefore make you Lord over this his creation? Yes, but not to improve this perfection, dominate, eliminate, and destroy. He gave you a physical kingdom to experience the wondrous and beautiful varieties of life. This is a place given for you to attain spiritual perfection by learning and wisely following the laws given forth by God and creation. Also, this is a place of learning through the divine spirit within you how to harmonize with all of creation which you choose to experience in, including beloved Mother Earth. Unfortunately, with your free will reasoning minds, you selfishly thought that to modernize and improve upon this wondrous creation, you would make this a better place for you to live upon, with total disregard to the rest of the earth, the mineral, plant, and animal kingdoms. So as example, we will give honor to many of your native cultures who are known as the ancients or Indians, who have existed throughout your world. Interesting, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says culture on the front. Throughout your planetary cycles. These ones understood because of the richness of their spiritual growth that they were a part of this world, but not of this world. They honored and blessed the mother who gave them beauty, food, and shelter. They honored and blessed the animals which gave them food and clothing. And they honored and blessed the Father, the Spirit of life, which gave them their life experience. They knew that they owned nothing but that of the Spirit of God within them. They lived in harmony and balance as a part of the whole. See how the WEF wants to even masquerade that they're God by saying you'll own nothing and be happy? They knew that they own nothing but that of the Spirit of God within them. They lived in harmony and balance as a part of the whole, not the dominant part, but complementary to it. This was their choice by wisely following the laws of nature given of God and creation. So, with that being said, may it be your wisely choice to follow the laws of nature given by God and creation. This is Spaceman 2.0, and I'll be back with another episode with getting into your personal responsibility and understanding the nature of your personal responsibility. Have a great evening, and I'm out.